Hi friends, welcome to Chandra Chess Academy. In the previous lesson, we have analyzed a game that is played between two beginner level players, and today we are going to analyze a game which is played between two intermediate level players. Let's start. Here white started the game with e4 and black replied with c5, that is Sicilian defense. In the second move, white played bishop to c4 followed by d3. So far so good. Both sides haven't done anything wrong with the opening. Now the ideas for white may include he can try moving the bishop to f4 and continue with his development, followed by maybe knight f3, and then he can castle. Black played e6 and white played knight c3. Okay, but white is trying to develop the queen side first. Here he played a3, not a bad move. The idea behind this move is to prevent black's knight from reaching the b4 square, and also it has another purpose. Once we move the a3, the a2 square will be available for our white bishop on c4. So in case bishop is attacked by black's pawns in future, we can retreat to a2. So this a3 is a useful move in fact. Black played knight to d4. Playing the same piece again and again in the beginning of the game is not recommended. Here we can say white is looking better because black has not developed anything except this knight and three pawns. That too, he wasted a tempo by moving the same knight two times instead of developing other pieces. So we can see all black's pieces are lying in the starting squares only. He has not touched any piece except this knight. Whereas white development is very good. He has developed almost all of his minor pieces and he is ready to castle now. So positionally white is looking better. Okay. The game continued this way. Black attacked white's bishop on c4 with b5, and now this a2 square becomes a safe home for our bishop. So when we played a3, so we had this a2 available for our bishop. Queen f6 by black is again a blunder because, as I said earlier, this is called premature queen development. So black has not developed any of his king side pieces and moving around with his queen. So this is one of the fundamental mistakes that many of the beginners and intermediate level players do. This f6 square actually belongs to the knight. It doesn't help when we move the queen many times in the beginning. White simply castled and kept his king safe. This is a mistake by white, capturing the black's knight on d4 with his bishop, because when he captured the bishop, he should have asked himself how black is going to react to it. So the obvious move is black is going to recapture with his pawn. So what happens when black recaptures with the pawn is thereby attacking the white's knight on c3. But where are we going to move? The knight actually doesn't have any good squares to retreat. You can see once bishop is captured by the pawn, it is attacking our knight on c3, and our knight cannot move to any of these squares. This square is protected by the pawn, this square is obstructed by our own pieces, and we do not have any good squares except the b1. So b1, that is the starting square. So if we capture, the pawn is in return attacking our piece, and our piece is going to go back to its starting square. So that is undoing whatever development we have done till now. So the knight has to retreat to the corner, thereby we are losing the tempo again. So here rook c8 is a good move from black because he is taking the open file. Queen h6 is again a mistake from black, as he is playing the same pieces again and again instead of developing other pieces. So black is only playing the queen because he doesn't know how to or what to play in the middle game. So this is the crucial phase of the game. This is what differentiates the advanced players from beginners. Here black is attacking the white's pawn on b2. White, instead of trying to defend this pawn, he should try and counter attack black's king, because there is a fundamental concept here. whenever you see your opponent's king in the middle, you should focus on the king, not try to save your pawns and all. So how to attack the king? So whenever he's in the middle, our game plan is simple. We need to push the pawns, exchange them, open the files, and expose your opponent king. So then we can checkmate him easily. So here white should try to push the D, E and F pawns. Instead of playing defensively and trying to protect his minor pieces and pawns, he should focus on the opponent's king. But he played Queen E2 to protect the B2 pawn. Not a good move. And black played H5 here. Now he is attacking. He is also threatening to push the pawn to further to H4, because from H4 he will be attacking our knight on G3, and this knight doesn't have any good squares to move. So D4, E2 and F1 all are blocked by our own pieces. So the knight can only move to H1, that is into the corner. We know the pieces are stronger when they are in the middle and weaker if they are in the corner. So we need to make space for our knight so that it can move to any other square than corner. So how to make the space? We need to push the F4 pawn, attack the queen. When the queen retreats, you can move your rook to F2 and then the knight can come to F1 square. So this should be the thought process. It is called prophylactic thinking. You need to observe your opponent's move, understand his plans behind it, see if there are any threats, and you need to respond accordingly. So but white here played something else, that is H3, and when he attacked the knight he had to retreat to the H1 square. Now black played his knight to C6. So you need to see what will be his next move. We have 4 moves to consider, but only one move we should be concerned about, that is the knight D4, because it attacks our queen from there. So white should find a way to stop the knight from reaching the D4 square, or he need to find a better square for his queen to retreat. So here it is not possible to stop the knight from reaching the D4 square, so it is better to look for a safe square for our queen when he attacks. But instead here white played Queen G4, which is a mistake both theoretically and positionally as well, because as per theory we should not exchange pieces when we are attacking. Here black's king is in the middle, his pieces are not developed, whereas white's king is safe and his pieces are well developed. So here exchanging is a bad idea for white. So we can see suddenly the game is changing in black's favor. White just lost a couple of pawns and allowed black to get a passed pawn on A7, and it may become a queen if we don't pay attention. So white can move the bishop to B5 and attack the only defender, that is the knight on C6. So once the knight is gone, we can capture the A7 pawn. So that should be the idea for white here, because he has to pay immediate attention to the passed pawn. But white is only wasting time with these unnecessary moves. He is just moving the rook around without any idea. Again, it is a blunder by white to move the pawn to D4 because it has no defense, and now he has put his F3 pawn also under attack. White can play King G2 to protect the F3 pawn, but he played Rook D1. So black captured the pawn with a check. Okay, now he is attacking our bishop on C4. So because white kept all his pieces hanging, black is able to create threats with every move. So now he is attacking the white's knight on C3. Okay, white, instead of protecting the knight on C3, he is attacking the bishop on G5 with another knight. Is it a good move? No, because black can first capture the knight on H3 with his rook on H6. When the king recaptures, he can capture the other knight on C3 with his other rook. So then white is losing 2 knights for just 1 rook. So this is a favorable exchange for black and a losing exchange for white. So it is not a good idea. Anyhow, black didn't capture it. Black is trying to play defensively here. Black still has the option of capturing both the white's knights, by giving just one of his rooks. uh, Both the sides just moving around with their pieces. This normally happens when the players do not have an exact plan in their mind. White is trying to exchange all the material, but it's too late because black is already a couple of pawns up. So once everything is exchanged off the board, black can still win by promoting the extra pawns. This is called liquidation, and this normally helps the side with extra material, that is black in this case. Again, it is a blunder by white. He played rook d3. Black immediately captured the rook, but white cannot recapture with the bishop because the bishop is under pin. So here white resigned the game. So friends, this is an example from an intermediate level players. Hope this helped you to understand how to play in the middle game. Next week I will come up with another game played between advanced level players. So please do subscribe to our channel. Thank you.